Morning. As you can see, all in my woolies again. It's a very, very cold day, freezing. Been snowing on and off for the last day or two. And my neighbours next door but one are moving out today. So I don't really know them very well. They haven't been here long and they haven't been around much because they're professional ballroom dancers, and she's from Russia, and I just don't think she's ever settled in this country, so they're off. Don't know who's bought the house. I hope it's somebody nice. Anyway, negativity yesterday in regard to all the horrible things that are going on in the world and on my doorstep and on YouTube. So I'm going to read you something today. This is getting on my nerves, isn't it? I'm going to read you something today that you might like. Just conscious of the time again this morning. I don't know whether any of you have heard about the Essenes, an ancient sect preceding Christianity, I believe. And also Jesus was said to be an Essene, as was John the Baptist, Mary Magdalene, the disciples. And I find their teachings very interesting. I just love reading about ancient history, medieval history, different religions. But I thought I would read you something out from the Essenes. And this isn't to say, by the way, that I'm in any way swayed towards a certain faith. It doesn't. As I've said before, if I was going to veer towards anything, it'd be towards Buddhism. But I'm going to read you this out because I think it's off my phone. I think it's interesting regarding the Essenes. They had no servants or slaves and were said to have been the first people to condemn slavery, both in theory and in practice. There were no rich and no poor amongst them, both conditions being considered by them as being deviations from the law. They established their own economic system based wholly on the law and showed that all man's food and material needs can be attained without struggle through knowledge of the law. Talking about the law, not legalities as such, the law. They spent much time in study, both of ancient writings and special branches of learning, such as education, healing and astronomy. They were adept in prophecy, for which they prepared by prolonged fasting. In the use of plants and herbs for healing man and beast, they were likewise proficient. How wonderful is that? No big pharmaceutical companies seeking to keep us ill to maintain and boost their profits. The Essenes lived a simple, regular life, rising each day before sunrise to study and commune with the forces of nature. They bathed in cold water as a ritual. They donned white garments. After their daily labour in the fields and the vineyards, they partook of meals in silence, preceding and ending them with prayer. A bit different to the mukbangs on YouTube, huh? In their profound respect for all living things, they never touched flesh foods, and that included Jesus, for he wasn't a Essene. Nor did they drink fermented liquids. Their evenings were devoted to study and communion with the heavenly forces. What a wonderful lifestyle. Evening was the beginning of their day, and their Sabbath or holy day began on Friday evening, the first day of the week. This day was given to study, discussion and entertaining, the playing of certain musical instruments and the relics of which have been discovered. I'd be interested to see what those were. Their way of life enabled them to live to the advanced age of 120 years or longer, and they were said to have marvellous strength and endurance. In all their activities, they expressed creative love. How wonderful is that? It also says, gives you here the sevenfold vow. The sevenfold vow. I want to and will do my best to live like the tree of life planted by the great masters of our brotherhood, with my Heavenly Father who planted the eternal garden of the universe and gave me my spirit, with my earthly mother who planted the great garden of the earth and gave me my body. Think about that. My Heavenly Father who planted the eternal garden of the universe to which our souls return. My earthly mother who planted the great garden of the earth and gave me my body, which will return to dust. With my brothers who are working in the garden of our brotherhood, I want to and will do my best to hold every morning my communions with the angels of the earthly mother and every evening with the angels of the Heavenly Father. This, as established by the great masters of our brotherhood, I want to and will do my best to perfect my body which acts, my body which feels, and my body which thinks, all according to the teachings of the great masters of our brotherhood. I will always and everywhere obey with reverence my master, who gives me the light of the great masters of all times. I will submit to my master and accept his decision or complaints I may have on whatever differences against any of my brothers working in the garden of the brotherhood. When God saw that his people would perish because they did not see the light of life, he chose the best of Israel, so that they might make the light of life to shine before the sons of men. And those children were called Essenes. They taught the ignorant, they healed the sick, and they gathered on the eve of every seventh day, Friday, to rejoice with the angels. That was a bit of a lengthy reading, and I cut bits out of it, but I think you'll see where I'm coming from there. No rich, no poor, everybody doing the best for everybody else, and being at one with the universe. How wonderful. Anyway, I thought that was a little bit of a positive reading for me to do today, so I'll put my phone away now and got to get ready to go and see Alfie. My daughter's coming for me this morning, and Alfie hasn't really been very well the last couple of days. He's had extremely restless nights. I read in his notes, and whilst I've been there, the hours I've been there, he's only been awake a very short time and didn't always recognise me. So it's been a little bit upsetting, but we'll see what happens today. And I'll just show you outside, because the snow started to fall again. It stopped, but it's forecast to be quite heavy later on today. So I'll show you what it looks like outside at the moment as I pulled the curtain across. Bright sunshine, frosty, removal vans next door. So yeah, we'll probably have a few inches of snow later on today, and I'd better get off here now and comb my hair and get myself ready for my daughter, and I'll be back on a little bit later. I would love you to maybe listen again to what I read, and it might have been a little bit bitty, because I picked bits out of it. Was quite a lengthy text, and some of it was laboured, but it's a very interesting concept, the Essenes. I'll speak to you later, my friends. Keep warm. Bye bye.